It appears Kloe is taking this repopulation campaign very seriously. Be careful of her, Lumi, the Arc Demon in the red scarf. She's more dangerous than you can imagine. Her life in this place is miserable or extinct. What unholy calamity visited this world to put it in such a pitiful state? I imagine hanging with the Wonder Twins here might help us discover that mystery, most likely topped with an overgenerous helping of raw demonic horror.
I was saying I'm going to kill them all held any meaning in this day and age. May as well be saying I'm going to grant immortality to them all. What kills you really does make you stronger, huh?
Don't think that's quite how that saying goes, Kloe.
Oh, whoops. It was even dumber than that. Something like, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger? Putting aside the notion it'll put permanent cracks on your soul that will eventually lead to your demise, if I tear off your arm, is it really going to come back a stronger, better arm?
Oh, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't defend such a silly saying. Personally, I think yours is far more apt, if a tad too revealing. Though, given your nature and interesting get-up, I suppose revealing is all I should expect, huh?
Kloe, yet again, is forced to admit it.
Ah, good. You might be the key to the current dilemma we're facing. If you would aid us, anyway. While she looks to you playfully, you sense behind her eyes not only a resolute desire to kill, she has something even more absolute in mind. See how you may help. You seem excited to see us. What is it? That power you used in the battle with the planar, I didn't personally get to see it, but Ramira would not shut up about it.
You mean our ability to use the destroy spell card?
No need to go all grim-faced on us just yet, Lumi. We don't know why Nanian is asking.
Oh, you can keep that face on. Well, you would definitely be using your powers for the betterment of Nekokind. I'm afraid that your proposed target is something which I don't care to grace with a description. Table for two on the menu, because you are giving us no context with that. Kloe was getting to that. Sheesh. This page says I'm impatient. Just to the south lies a town that is now called Inferno. The location is known for being where Xeltara and her followers butchered the Nekomata populace. Before Kloe can go about repopulating the Nekomata, she must first take care of their would-be makers. Otherwise, nothing is really getting solved, is it? By now, you're clued in to the fact that getting killed for most mortals simply means ascension to an afterlife. You can ascend and become like me or otherwise. Well, that won't do in this case. The murderers of Questline have no place in this dimension, or any, really.
So you would point your finger like a gun and expect us to use our very dangerous destroy spell card to ensure these murderous harpies don't just undo your future self's hard work?
What's with the smug face?
Heavy is the crown of the tyrant. If I say no, there's not much you can really do, is there? Excuse me a moment, but weren't you shedding bullets of sweat during her last interaction with you? What changed, Coco? She won't kill me, because not only does she need me to be around so the cosmos can continue, but if she does anything I object to, I can simply refuse for the borrowed use of my power. In other words, I have more value to her alive than dead, and content than sad.
Kloe is exposed? You... How can you be so heartless, Coco?
I'll accompany you to the town. However, I will make my own judgments on whether I should use the destroy command. It is not a power I intend to make a commodity. Just be warned. I won't tolerate abuse. I do hope we won't have a repeat of what you did on the starship.
Well, that sure sends shivers down my spine.
Better watch out, Kloe. Coco's got you all sussed out. That's all I need you to do. You're the noble sort, so no doubt you agree with Kloe when you see what awaits. You may be at ease. This means a lot to Kloe, so you can stop being so mean to her. She may have a strong spirit, but she's got a fragile heart. The burn scars still on her body speak of someone who has endured unimaginable pain, both physically and emotionally.
It's okay, Nanny Ann. Kloe did kind of deserve that. She did give Miss Orange Eyes a real scare a couple of times. Kloe does hope we can focus our animosity on our enemies going forward. You sure did take a great pains to ensure Kloe was going to behave, something she fully intended to do anyway. Either way, I'm curious to see what we're up against.
I somehow don't think this is going to be worthy of your enthusiasm.
Directly south of the pathway to our destination, Inferno. Brace yourselves.
I didn't mean to be so brutal. I just can't let myself be manipulated. We knows that game best, and I won't let her do to me or anyone else what she did to the wizard. In the face of the upcoming threats, I must know my own reasons for doing as I would. This was just me kind of realizing that. An archdemon like her is no doubt unused to having her pride wounded like that. I'm glad Coco stood up for herself, but it gives me unease. Kloe could capitalize on this in the future. Or maybe I'm just afraid of her and want to pin a reason to that fear, rather than simply accepting it may be irrational. I don't know, I'm not Coco. I'll just let that information rot in my brain until it disappears forever. Probably not the healthiest way of dealing with my problems, but I'm not ready to confront that kind of shit right now.
Know that Kloe would never usually request aid. It is only because of the threat these malcontents pose that I would allow my pride to be wounded like this. You sure are cruel sometimes, Coco. You'd make a pretty good soul catcher. Or perhaps Reaper Angel? Maybe. No. No. Truly, such nonsense thoughts. I've been hanging around Nanny too much already. Rule of wisdom? Pah, more like rule of sage-ass TED Talks. Kloe lost her train of thought. Head down to Inferno, and you see how apt calling them harpies really is.
We will meet you there anon. Just be wary. Kloe's Helldeath sounds like a nice place compared to where you're headed.
Kloe has your word, doesn't she?
Kloe has put up a force field of some kind. It appears she never intended to give us a choice.
Have I?
Your words were no exaggeration. This is horrible.
This is no doubt an image of what the Children of Calamity's prodigal grand conflagration would look like. I don't want to live in a world like this.
I don't have the words.
I apologize, Kloe. Given your scars, I see the last thing you needed was more burns.
Kloe knew this would humble you. Kloe has lived, cried, and died in the mortal hell that was her death. I was once human as well, no different from you. Please try to remember that. One day, I hope I can get to know you better, and perhaps know what happened to you, if only for the sake of understanding. Kloe got burned alive for the sake of wanting to love. I love the world and its people all. I cherish my life and my friends. In one act of foul play, it was all ash. Kloe followed not long after. Doused with petrol and set alight after being abused in all of the ways. My last and playful nature, it's an escape from all that hardship. I tortured him, cooked him in the core of the earth over hundreds of years. Kloe doesn't even know what she was trying to prove. Maybe that she could be even worse. There is little humanity left in me. It's been mostly burned away by pain and escapism. Isberry has been so good to Kloe. Now Kloe wants to do something for someone. That is why Kloe wants to save the Necromata from these fiends of the flame. She sees in those poor kittens the same she did in herself, a desire to live and love that was willfully ignored and punished. Never again. Kloe won't suffer herself to become a monster like she was to him. So instead, she asks only for a painless but final end to the winged fiends above.
I now feel horrible as fuck.
Same. But Kloe understands when he set those boundaries. It's okay. There is no way you could have known.
Kloe, you're going to make me cry too.
I feared you, Kloe. Now I know it wasn't because of what you are now. It was the steps it took to get you there. That... things like that shouldn't be allowed to happen to anyone.
I think you understand Kloe's sentiment now, no?
I always did. For you of all people to want to foster life rather than feed on it, there must be a very good and weighty reason.
Well, time to stop being sad. It's time to practice something else. Distraction. If you would take the measure of these beasts, then best get ready. One approaches.
I'm ready. My, are you asking to be burned alive? Or are you poor little morsels lost?
As you can see, Harpies is very accurate.
Don't think Kloe could be burned any harder than she is already.
You might be right. What about her, the cute little witch girl?
You are filth.
Poor magician, more like court savage. So, what if we're simply lost? There was a wooden barricade blocking the only entrance to this town. If you're that lost, you're basically dead to this world already. Oof. Hey, I've got an idea. Instead of sitting there gawking, why don't you help me find the infant I was intending to finish off? One of those goody two-shoes founders managed to scamper off with her. Granted, I left her a grievous wound in the process, so I can't imagine she's gotten far. Probably hiding somewhere. I've got a better idea. Why don't you give me a reason? It is plain that you and your complacency are behind this unthinkable atrocity. Was there any reason for this unprecedented slaughter? Even so much as a petty rivalry or spot of revenge? Anything at all? Sport, that's all there is to it. Seeing people at their lowest screaming and torn down. Oh, there's nothing quite like it.
As you can see, they are no different from Zali or Herbert. They kill, torture, and worse for sport and their sadistic enjoyment alone. At least Kloe mostly just gives people a good bang along with basically immortality. Pretty good package deal.
Does this meet your criteria, Angels of Hope? If you would destroy a planar being, surely you can justify the same here.
Yes, it's surprising he hasn't done away with these herself, to be honest.
As if I needed more nightmare fuel.
Yeah, we're unanimous in this one. May I ask what prompted such a question to begin with? We were merely contemplating your right to exist. That's an interesting way of saying you wish to fight me or be burned alive trying.
You gravely misunderstand, but since it doesn't seem there's much material upstairs, how's about a hands-on demonstration? You're up, girls. For what it's worth, your answer was satisfactory. You are utterly irredeemable. I shall now make you into nothing.
Excuse me, you think yourself a little embodiment or something? That's a mighty cute show you're putting on.
Okay.
Destroyers, retreat!
Nanian?
I'm on
Now listen up, you red-feathered fuckstains. The only one allowed to dance with these darling commanders is me. You dare to get in between me and love? As the third of the Grand Archdemons, I, Kloe of Vanilla, will ensure you don't ever lay an despicable clawed finger on them. I wonder how you feel now that you're the one being preyed upon. But it's not so fun when the rig's on the other talon now, is it? Now, for the sake of the good Nekomata, my love for them and for the cosmos as a whole, I bid you a final farewell courtesy of the Angels of Hope.
I'm glad you're happy, Kloe. Well, I hope you'll keep to your word, dear angels. Given her outburst, I think you can see how much Chloe's riding on this going well.
We won't let either of you down. I couldn't stand to think of upsetting Kloe after that heart-to-heart.
Dance, dance, you pitiful little creatures. Pray in the flames of a real demon. Be glad Kloe has nothing to do her dirty work for her.
Don't mind Chloe's audible joy. It's rare for her to experience genuine happiness. She isn't quite sure how to deal with such positive energy. I'm so glad I took her up on this mission. Many as the tragedies have been, I feel more learned and worldly for it. I also made a good friend in all of this. However, will I explain all this to Aklona? I'll simply have to worry about that after we've succeeded.
It appears Lilac has this one in the bag. A sick, sick creature you are. I'll ensure your treatment is very thorough. The beady eyes, despite being in such peril, show no fear or remorse. Not even bleeding. They are just dead to the notion of concern for their existence, let alone anyone else's. Perhaps it is no less a joy for these beings to be haunted as it is to haunt. You decide you try not to think too much about that. Anyway, looks like Coco's got this one. Mercy was never an option.
You are just wrong. Everything about you is in some hard-to-describe manner completely off. Like you shouldn't exist. It's dreadful beholding you, even as you are now. Your eyes show no remorse, sympathy, or even self-concern. It is like she said, but sport to you. Sport no more. It's time you learn that your gross actions have consequences. I only wish your destruction could bring either of us any peace.
The deed is done.
Yes, very good. I didn't expect you to get any satisfaction from killing such pitiless creatures, but you've helped the people who really need it most.
Say, did the foul hunter we interrogate not mention she'd been looking for a Nekomata child and her foul hunter savior? It's possible one or both may still be alive.
To think young children had to bear witness to this.
Hey, anyone still alive? The red-winged harpies are gone now. Right to the point, I see, Coco. You still surprise me sometimes. Believe me, though, that's a good thing.
Kloe just heard a faint voice. It sounds like someone is still alive, but we don't have much time.
You found a young foul hunter, and in her hands clutched a small child with kitten-like features.
Oh, thank goodness. Are they all?
Gone, yes. These three ladies beside me took swift care of them. That young one in your arms, is she your kill?
What? No, I was trying to save her.
Sorry. That was a mean joke, and Kloe is the only one laughing. She looked startled, but otherwise fine. You did well, young one. Or rather, you did well for her.
Oh dear. She wasn't bluffing when she stated it was a grievous wound. I'll hold the baby. Kloe, I think me and the Angel of Hope have done enough of your work. It's time you put something forward.
Be Kloe's pleasure. Hold still, you brave girl, you.
Thanks. I thought I was definitely gonna die this time.
This time? A recurring thing is this? Oh, Kloe never would have figured you for a masochist.
No, you have it all wrong. I'm trying my best to help out the struggling people of this world, and because of the world we live in, I do tend to get in dire situations sometimes.
Seems it was worth it. You saved a child.
Your wound aside, the little one seems quite well. Scared shitless, but nothing that won't be dealt with time, love, and TLC. The fact she hasn't pissed herself suggests she's a brave little one, too. If I'd been introduced to this kind of gruesome shit when I was her age, I'd have done some things I'd go to immense lengths to keep to myself. Well, it was her standing up to them after they'd done something unforgivable that struck me. I was going to save her anyway, but after seeing little Ira's bravery, I couldn't let it be in vain.
Kloe is a little scared to know what her parents endured.
You're right to be. These savages have absolutely no right to be... the fuck? This is actually messed up on so many levels. Let's just say, I know your personal history more intimately than I'd like to admit, Kloe. I know even you would never do anything so barbaric and depraved.
You should probably stop using your wisdom ability on every poor sap we encounter. The world isn't a pretty place, Nanian.
Oh, so, I might have neglected to mention, I don't really get to control what I see. So I hope there's nothing any of you are too ashamed of.
And there goes Nanian just being herself. Again.
I jest, of course. I already know your crybaby backstories. May have had myself an unintentional glimpse on Xenania.
Not even me?
Not even you.
Lilac, you bitch baby, you're really worrying for nothing. She scanned me and I've done more horrible things than you could even possess the creativity to imagine. Relative to me though, the children of Columbia are on another whole level. You can make almost anyone look like a sin if you compare them to those backwards freaks.
Ahem. This banter really can wait. What is your name, small one?
I am Wyra.
Are you alright?
Yay, thanks to you, Miss Brave Bird.
You shouldn't thank me alone. I might have gotten us both killed if not for these fantastic folks surrounding us.
Oh, think not of it.
Text-to-speech message for Lilac Grave. Your ego was showing.
Yeah, I really did learn that.
Do you both live here? I'm sure it was a nice place before the incident.
Ryra is a local, yes. Rosalia, however, lives far to the north atop the peak of Madman's Ascent in the floating marvel called Rise of the Avian.
How did you know all that? I feel that's one for concern.
Oh, it's just an ability of mine that I can't really control, and lets me see your history in a glance.
Well, do you know what you do now?
I'm not sure. I usually... Rosa! Oh, good. You're somehow okay. You know, Mom's gonna be off her rocker when you get back to her looking like that. Robin, what are you doing here? An awesome question that doesn't need an answer because it's plainly obvious. Mom worked out you'd probably gone off somewhere dangerous and asked I'd go get you out of Dodge. She certainly doesn't miss a beat, does she? I need to take this little one I saved from the flames of flying eagles back to her home. Yeah, what home, sis? Unless you're insisting she live in a place lacquered in blood ash and potential fire hazards.
You're a flighty one, aren't you? Kloe enjoys your energy. What does little Ryra want?
Little Ryra wants to stay with Rosalia. That does make sense. Rosalia is about the only person she probably trusts about now. Well, with the followers mostly dealt with, we can consider our first stage of this operation a success.
Nanian, don't ask why, but please do not let your guard down. I'll go into wise later.
Yes, of course.
Robin, was it? Me and my foxy ally here shall escort you to Rise of the Avian, if that is where you are heading.
Thanks, but we can fly.
You can, but the Charger shit can't. Not to mention, I wouldn't recommend your sister to go flying in her current condition. My healing isn't going to make everything immediately better. I'm a demon, not an angel. The angels packed up and left like the snooty dweebs they are, so you're just gonna have to put your faith in us. We care more about your survival than they do anyway. They're more interested in looking good than being good.
Well, you two can walk, but I'm not walking that length of distance, least before going up Madman's ascent on my 2 feet alone.
Your carelessness will get you killed. Kloe is advising you to stay on the ground for a very good reason. Your mother hardly needs to lose one of her daughters. This wound is going to give Rose enough to worry about.
How the heck do you know my mom's name, or... Listen to me very carefully, youthborn imbecile. You're staying on the ground until the danger passes, or Kloe will kill you herself. Are we clear?
What are you saying?
What the actual fuck, Kloe?
Everyone, quiet yourself. I've worked out why Kloe is advising this. If you like the idea of living, do as she says.
That wisdom god's a real trick, ain't it?
I know not what you are on about. All I know is we should head up the mountain. Come find us at the Pjcr. We'll take a break there.
Yeah, our work has only just begun.